Hey guys, it's Danny. Alrighty, today we have an identification video for this beautiful Phalaenopsis species. Actually, she's not a species, but she is a primary hybrid between two quite famous species. And this is the Phalaenopsis hierogliphica and the Phalaenopsis mariae. So as you can see, this hybrid, which as far as I know doesn't have a name yet, if it does, I'll just add it in the title or in the description. I need to check the RHS. So this hybrid took the best of both worlds, in my opinion. If you Google search the images with his parents, you'll see that this is an improved version of the two somehow, at least in my opinion. So you can see we do have a lovely pattern here coming from the hierogliphica, but also pretty intense colors coming from the mariae. And overall, the aspect of the bloom is really pretty. So far, I have only these two blooms open, but my orchid has quite a lot of buds on the way. The problem is I purchased it with its flower spikes all over the place, so I don't have a show in the front or in the back or somewhere. It's just all over the plant. However, I can do with that. So as you can see, the blooms are facing kind of weird directions, and this is because from daytime or in the daytime I have light coming from that direction, but in the afternoon sun moves there, so blooms are unfortunately facing wrong directions. However, this orchid really enjoys a quite bright light, more than a Phalaenopsis hybrid, complex hybrid in my opinion. This is why I have all my species here. But anyway, as I was saying, I absolutely adore this plant. It seems to produce quite a lot of blooms at once, so from this point of view it is quite better than a Bellina or Violacea, which only produces a few flowers at a time. Most mine were two on a flower spike, but as you can see I do have quite a lot of buds. It does have a nice branching tendency, and I saw this on every spike, so it's really a nice show when everything is in bloom. So the flower is not humongous, just like you would expect with a primary hybrid or a very close to species Phalaenopsis orchid. Nothing like the complex hybrids. However, the size is not necessarily super tiny. I absolutely adore the lip. I go mental for fuzzy lips, and this one checks when it comes to fuzziness. So the lip is a contrasting color, I would say, with the pattern on the petals. It is a really nice purple with some white fuzz. Pretty similar to the Tetraspis Phalaenopsis. The Bellina doesn't have this fuzz. The background of the petals is a buttery, whitish color, greenish buttery, and the spotting on it is a brown color, I would say. It's not necessarily red, but brown. Not sure how it appears on this camera. However, this orchid is fragrant. It's quite beautifully fragrant. Pretty similar to the Bellina. I think this is the norm when it comes to Phalaenopsis species, or at least the ones that I have. However, the fragrance on this one is fruitier than the Bellina somehow. The Bellina has an underlayer of syrup, but this one not so much. It's quite fresh, not overpowering, I have to say. So if you're sensitive to fragrances, this one will not fill the entire room. Not sure what will happen when all the blooms will open. However, I do enjoy this fragrance. It's one of those mouth-watering kind of fragrances. Now, the orchid herself is not a tiny orchid like you would expect from a species or a primary hybrid. I do have two orchids in my pot. One is a keiki. However, you can see that the leaf span is quite humongous. However, they're quite attractive. They're glossy, like you would expect a Phalaenopsis species to be, and overall they're quite nice. Now, this orchid I purchased a few months ago, and it developed an infection on the leaves, so I needed to cut the leaves. If you missed that video, you're interested in this subject, you can check the info card right here or the description below. But to report on that matter, I don't have any more issues. The infection didn't spread. There's nothing really wrong with this orchid. I don't know much about its history though, so maybe it suffered from some sunburn or I don't know, some bad care, and the edge of the leaves got infected. However, everything is pretty normal right now. I didn't have any more infections, and the orchid really grows vigorously. Overall, I think this is a great option if you really want to go into Phalaenopsis species, because it doesn't produce short flower spikes, as you can see, and it also produces multiple flowers. The spikes are sequential bloomers, so it's not a good idea to cut the spikes if your orchid is healthy, and if the spikes are green, they can rebloom over and over again. They can branch out, and in the end, after a while, you can get quite a beautiful show out of this orchid. So for a transition from the normal Phalaenopsis hybrids, the complex ones, to species, I believe this will really brighten your days. You're getting quite a few flowers, not as showy or as big perhaps, but they are fragrant, they're beautiful. The orchid is really easy to keep. She's not a space saver, unfortunately, but pretty much what Phalaenopsis is, unless they are miniatures. So alrighty guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I am really enjoying the species right now. I'm getting into species. I want to buy more, and I have a few more buds to come in the near future, so stay tuned for more identification videos. If you like to watch more orchid videos from me and stay up to date, simply subscribe to my channel. I post on a regular basis. Also, feel free to leave me comments down below if you have suggestions or questions that you'd like me to answer. I check my comments every day, and always feel free to send me a letter at the address you see right here or in the description below. Choose an option on the screen if you'd like to visit my website orchidnature.com or watch another orchid video. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you all next time. Bye!